bacon.
Greetings, my tasty morsels. It's Reverse BLT here. Welcome back to the channel. I am about to get into a new series, to me anyway. I put out, after the Wheel of Time, I put out a poll to my subscribers asking them what they thought should replace it out of a group of shows that I already wanted to watch. And hands down, with more than twice the percentage of the next closest runner-up, the winner of the poll was The Witcher. I'm pretty excited to get into this. I discovered the books really only a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago. I think I actually cracked open the first collection of short stories because I'd heard of the games. I had never played any of them. I have OCD, so I generally kind of avoid a lot of RPGs because I get pulled into them a little too much and I end up losing a ton of time to them. That's why I will never play World of Warcraft. But you know, I have enjoyed Mass Effect, for instance, which I think was well, actually no, it was made by a different studio because I think it was a CD project, or I think you're supposed to say Project Red.
Well, ooh la dee da, Mr. Frenchman.
Did the Witcher games. But, you know, neither here nor there. The point is, I have the type of personality that makes me kind of a little wary of getting into RPGs, which is why I never played the game. But I did read the first two collections of short stories, and I believe the first novel. And I actually have the next one, which I think is Age of Contempt. It's been sitting on my desk waiting for me to read it for a while. But I love the series so far. I'm a huge mythology nerd. I've been a big fan of different mythologies since I was like 5 years old, when I think my mom gave me my first collection of, Bullfinch's mythology? Or was it Hamilton's mythology? I forget which one, but it was one of the big collections of mythologies, mostly dealt with mythology of Europe, of course, because I grew up in the United States. But it was very interesting. It really got me hooked. I love all these different stories from all these different myths, and it started me off on, you know, this journey that ended up leading me to major and comparative religion and all that stuff. So this sort of stuff is totally within my wheelhouse. I really enjoy seeing them remix, and since a lot of it's based on Slavic mythology, it's extra fun for me because it's one of the cultures whose mythology I know the least about. Obviously, I know some of the bigger ones, Baba Yaga, and what's the name of that one god who Chernabog, yeah, who likes to beat people with hammers. I know a little bit about those. I had heard of things like Rusakas, for instance, but, you know, didn't really get into reading much of their mythology besides the really big stories. And so it was really cool to read about some of that stuff, and also to see how the author remixed and pulled in mythology from around the world. That was pretty cool. I am really looking forward to seeing how they, in the show, depict Geralt. You see Henry Cavill's playing him. Is it Cavill or Cavill? I've never really been clear on how to say his last name. But I really like him as an actor, and he also seems like a pretty cool person too, which is always fun when you can watch someone who you like as an actor and who seems like a good guy too. He seems like someone who'd be really fun to hang out with and nerd out over stuff, because I also understand he's a massive geek just like us. And I mean, just shoot the shit. That'd be cool. Hey Henry, if you're out there, buddy, let's hang out.
No!
I'm looking forward to seeing Ciri, who I just found incredibly precocious and adorable in the books. And I'm looking forward to seeing Yennefer, whose story, the parts that I've gotten into so far, are just very tragic and interesting. And she herself is a very interesting character, so I really want to know more about her and some of the events that happened to and around her, and the interesting dynamic that she and Geralt have as this sort of like star-crossed lovers, you know. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And the other big thing I'm really looking forward to is the law of surprise and all the craziness that happens around it. That was just a great concept to me. I understood that concept without having a name for it, because it does sort of pop up in a lot of folklore. This idea that, like, you know, someone will accidentally kind of make a pact, or accidentally make the future do something, or you know, some sort of magical deal will just sort of be spoken into existence. You know, so it's really the basis of a lot of folklore. But I had never knew. I don't know if he made up the term law of surprise. I actually never bothered to research it, but maybe I should. But either way, it's a really interesting idea, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Oh, and of course, I'm looking forward to seeing Dandelion. At least I assume he's in the show. I know there's a bard in the show, so I assume that's Dandelion. But anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get into it, starting with the beginning, or the end's beginning, episode 1 of The Witcher. Oh, and don't forget, guys, to participate in future polls. They'll pop up if you're a subscriber, and you'll see them. If you are upset that your particular show did not get voted for, next time, make sure you vote. I will run them for 7 days whenever I do a poll to determine what I should watch. I'll run it for 7 days. I will never put anything on there, though, that I would not watch anyway. That's kind of the point of my channel. I'm watching shows that I want to watch. That's why you don't see certain shows that are very big on streaming on here, like that show You. I have no intention of reacting to You, because I saw one episode of it with a former roommate and one of my friends, and he really liked it. But I don't like shows that feel like they're glorifying the bad guy, or asking me specifically to root for someone who's genuinely evil. So I'm not going to watch that show. I don't care how popular it is. I don't care how many views it would get me. I don't care how many subscribers it might get me. I'm not watching it. It's the whole reason why I stopped watching The Sopranos after a while, is because I started feeling like they really wanted me to to want Tony to succeed. And I'm sorry, I was watching the show to watch Tony fall, you know, because he's a piece of shit. It was very well written, and I wanted to see him get his comeuppance. I didn't want to sit there going, yay, Tony won, Tony killed the guy, yay, they murdered that FBI lady, and all that stuff. No, I'm sorry, no. That's not the kind of stuff I like. So if you see anything in a poll or that I'm reacting to, is because I want to watch it, and I'm putting reactions up here because I think it's fun to share it with other people. That's how I do things. So I'm pathologically honest. You'll come to find that out as you join me on this journey. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Let's go ahead and get into this. Now, this doesn't look like it's going to bode well for that poor little deer. Run, deer, run! Listen to your prey instincts. Where's Mama Deer? Because that looks like a baby. I remember right, the silver sword is for slaying monsters, right? Roach. Use some magic. CGI on that thing wasn't half bad. Deer wasn't fast enough.
Today isn't your day, is it?
The classic traveler walks into a bar and everyone goes quiet trope. I love it.
Point me to the alderman's house.
You mutant son of a bitch.
Magneto would be very upset with you, sir.
Go. On your own, or at the end of a rope. Your choice.
Show us what you've got.
Can you not leave it alone for a moment?
Yeah, listen to her, man. She's hand of the king.
Witches can't be trusted.
I'm not speaking to you.
Come on, lads.
Beer for my friend here and one for me.
Just saved you guys from dying. Very
I am
painfully.
speaking to you now.
Good sir.
You're not getting a tip.
How much coin for your Kiki Mora then?
How much coin for what? Sounds like she said for your kicking more of them.
That my father will have no use for this beast.
Your father, the alderman, he posted a flyer.
For a Cavill. Kiki Moras are useful.
Oh, okay, that's what she said. Kikimora, okay. I'm gonna have to adjust everyone's accents.
Master Ciri on our wizard. He's willing to pay for odds and ends he needs for elixirs. I sold him our dog when it died. Mysteriously.
Oh, dear.
Fine.
I got 15 crowns for the yappy mutt. That's enough to buy some new clothes. Just saying.
Come on, Roach.
Everybody keeps dissing your fashion sense.
My mother says you're the offspring of foul sorcery. A diabolic creation, filthy degenerate born of hell. Have you ever
Love
been
the
to
old
hell?
walk and talk. Classic
I have to
exposition
be more
delivery
because
tactic.
I don't know what to do in Blaviken for the rest of my life except go to the boring old market.
And kill rats.
And dogs.
I like a precocious young person. I'm trying to remember if she was in the story or not. It's been a while since I read it.
Be nice.
Either way, though, I have a bad feeling about her chances of surviving this tale. Fucking wizards, am I right?
This is my own creation. Helps pass time more delightfully.
Because you're in hiding, Stregobor.
How very clever of you. Witcher.
I don't remember when does you meet him. Good adaptation always moves things around in time a bit for pacing.
On matters of great import.
A reclusive sorcerer who uses an alias and hires a young girl to procure him a witcher. You don't want my monster. You want me to kill yours.
Very clever. Indeed.
What kind?
The worst kind. The humankind.
Okay.
Its name is Renfrey.
All right. So yeah, this is the about when that was happening. Okay. It's weird. It's like, you know, when you haven't read something in a while, you remember stuff, but it's kind of hazy.
Gross.
Do you promise to defend to your utmost the weak, the orphan?
Late wee pups don't get to bark.
As members of the royal family, is it too much to ask that you exercise a modicum of respect? Especially you.
Grant me leave, my queen. I'm worn from my trip to the Isles. And my bedchamber duties before that.
Gross.
As your queen, I grant you this commendation, which will symbolize.
So fun fact, those areas are usually designed to amplify sound.
Mine, for example, is beautiful.
So that whole hall probably,
Hideous
well, at
on
least a
the
decent
inside.
part of the hall would have heard
She
the
has stretched
talking
her
behind her.
talents towards me. According to the wise mage Eltibald, Lilith's path was to be prepared by 60 women wearing gold crowns who'd fill the river valleys with blood.
Doesn't rhyme. All good predictions rhyme.
I studied the girls born around the Black Sun, and I found horrendous internal mutations among them. I tried to cure them, locked them in towers for safekeeping, but the girls always died.
Internal mutations.
They were autopsied, of course, to confirm my suspicions.
Yeah, tell the
But
truth, you
eliminating these
asshole.
women was the lesser evil. Killing Renfrey is the lesser evil.
Evil is evil, Stregobor. Lesser, greater, middling. It's all the same. I'm not judging you. I haven't only done good in my life either. But now, if I have to choose between one evil and another, then I prefer not to choose at all.
Would you honor me with the dance?
Martin.
She'd love to.
She doesn't feel quite as imposing as I expected. The queen.
Reminds me of your daughter's betrothal feast. The night you finally saw sense, said yes. Made me the happiest man on the continent.
I did it to save my kingdom. And no, you may not leave this shit dead.
I'm guessing they made her a little less hard so that she'd be more likable.
You should tell the girl.
Let her enjoy this night in peace. Maybe her last for a while.
I like the steeliness in her face at the end there. That was the queen I was expecting.
Stregabor's man raped me, robbed me, and let me go. No more princess. I had to survive. I stole rather than starve. I killed rather than be killed. No horn in the other saved me. And they'll be by my side at the market as I get my revenge. Lilith, help me. I will take down anyone in my way. Unless destiny intervenes.
You want me to kill Stregobor for you?
It's the lesser evil.
So I keep getting told.
If I tell you, Witcher, that I can neither forgive Stregobor nor renounce my revenge. Is that it? I admit I'm a monster.
Yes. Or you can leave Blaviken and finally live. You choose, Princess.
She is really pretty. That's one of my favorite themes in the book was, or the books, was Geralt constantly being told that something was destiny, and him basically, like, he hears that word, he sort of just, like, shuts down immediately and tries to get away from it. A man fleeing destiny at all costs, you know? I can't remember whether they spoke a lot about the whole concept of choosing between two evils, though. But one of the things I love about the character is his sense of honor. Goes Nilfgaard. It reminds me of Niflheim, which is what the land of the dishonored dead, I believe, in Norse mythology. So I assume it was chosen deliberately to echo that. Wouldn't you normally try to set up a line with,
Not fair that I'm trapped here.
like spikes and stuff to try to stop a charge like that?
Just an idea.
It's been 2 days.
For you and everyone else in the castle, the king and queen ordered us to remain here. And that's what we shall do.
And why are you not there? Wherever they are.
Protecting you.
My duty is to protect you.
Yeah.
You're resentful of that burden.
It's the greatest honor of my life.
Many, many years ago, sorcerers were known to lock little girls in towers. I'm beginning to understand why.
You know cautionary tales don't work on me.
The girls were said to be cursed. They were said to announce the end of the human race.
Oh.
So they were systematically killed. The end.
But she doesn't have any idea why any of that would apply to her yet. So.
Will my grandmother be all right?
You will be all right, Princess. You are her blood. And the apple never falls far from the tree.
I recognize that guy from somewhere. It's the side profile. It's making me realize I've seen him in something. Bro lost his helmet.
This ship's from Skelly! There's been a storm, Your Majesty! No one's coming! Then we fight along! We cannot surrender Sintra! No will we!
Take a moment to grieve later. No, put your helmet back on. What are you doing? Helmet. You need those. Also, you need a wizard. In a world with magic, I would absolutely make sure I have combat wizards in my army. Hurling some freaking fireballs at people.
You've been brave, my child. Well, I've been gone.
I have not smells like I've been impatient.
You will rule this land someday. You know that, don't you?
You think that you die?
Sweet child. When I go, it will be far more dramatic than this.
Got some quality acting going on in the series so far.
Let me rest.
This city has fallen.
What are you doing?
Setting a ward.
How long will it hold?
As long as I hold.
The easy way to get yourself killed. Say no fun time till I see the sword belt drop. Alright? And check you for daggers. And make sure you're not a sorcerer. I don't know why he didn't use a more destructive spell. Majesty. Does he not know them?
The Nilfgaardians will breach the castle gates.
Have breached. My powers could not hold them any longer, Your Majesty.
Now what? What do we do?
Mosak?
Get the hell out of Dodge.
He's in the gatekeep. Bring her cloak. Continue to be brave. Promise me. You are the lion cub of Sintra. You are destined for
I can't
great
do this without
things.
you.
We must go, Your Highness.
I almost feel like all of this in Sintra should have been the beginning of the show. I know it would have felt a little strange at first, since obviously the series is really mostly focused on Geralt, but this would have made an excellent bookend.
Your Majesty.
I saw it too. This is why they came.
I will deliver her. I give you my word.
Mosak. Your service has been an honor to us all.
As has yours. Your Majesty.
She did a good job, the actress who played her.
I'm sorry to disturb my lady. It is time. Nilfgaard is nigh.
Yep, that's a shame.
It is time.
But preferable to the alternative. At the very least, you deny them the pleasure of doing it.
We can leave. We can find a way out.
This is our way out.
So I haven't gotten far enough in the series to know what the hell the Nilfgaardians' deal is, like why they want to do this, aside from obviously just trying to get Ciri. But well, I guess maybe that's probably all it is, isn't it? I'm overthinking this.
What are you doing?
It's me, my son. It's okay.
It's so hard to hurt yourself, like to truly hurt yourself. Your brain has so many safeguards against letting you do it. The guy who stabbed himself in the neck, man. I know the queen would have preferred to go down fighting, but...
Horses!
Dude, can you not do like a concealment spell at least?
Keep going.
No.
Just make you guys invisible.
I gave your grandmother.
You're a
my
sorcerer.
word. Allow me to keep it. Go.
My grandmother said I had to leave. Why? Why is Nilfgaard here? Why does the world depend on it?
Hold on, Your Highness.
Girl, these are questions that can be answered later when you're someplace safe.
I've been protected my whole life, Laszlo. Why?
You're a princess. Oh, I thought they were gonna, since he was sleeping, I thought this was gonna be a dream about, someone else.
You're in the market, covered in blood. You say you can't choose, but you had to. You will try to outrun the girl in the woods, but you cannot. She is your destiny.
I'm free.
Brutal. Nice.
Leave Blaviken. It's not too late.
Magic doesn't work on me. Silver does, though.
Silver is for monsters. If we cross swords,
I won't be able to stop. They created me just as they created you. We're not so different.
Who's they? I remember being really sad about this in the book.
The girl in the woods will be with you always. She is your destiny.
That's a shame. What happens when you can't let go of your need for vengeance? It's something I understand, though. Sometimes some people hurt you bad enough that the thought of letting them get away with it is just unbearable.
Get back here!
Messing with things you can't possibly understand, buddy. Damn. You're a piece of shit, Stregobor. I mean, let's really be honest about it.
Marika? Marika! Get me a cart. We'll take her to the tower for an autopsy.
if you touch a single hair on her head, yours will be on the ground next.
You butchered bodies in the streets of Blaviken.
You're a beast! You endangered the girl.
You took the law into your own hands. You made a choice.
Kill him.
And you'll never know if it was the right one.
Fucking wizards are never quick enough to stop you when you're that close.
Get out of Blaviken, Geralt. Don't ever come back.
Not the kind of man you want to make an enemy out of, Stregobor.
In the woods will be with you always. She's your destiny.
So that was episode 1 of The Witcher. I do think it got off to a pretty good start. I can imagine that jumping back and forth between Ciri's story and Geralt's story was a bit jarring for a lot of people. I personally, like I mentioned during the episode, would have probably put Ciri's part first and used it as a bookend and then started with Geralt, rather than jumping back and forth, because that really can confuse people who, especially who aren't familiar. You know, I've read the dang thing, and even I had to think really hard to kind of catch up in my head with what was happening at these different places at different times, because I'm trying to remember that, I mean, it wouldn't even be contemporaneous, I don't think. Like, I don't think what was happening with Ciri was happening at the same time as what we just saw with Geralt. And well, I can't think of her name. Literally just I hate it when my brain just blanks like that. The child of Lilith. It's always interesting how that story keeps getting brought up. In folklore, really, the whole thing about Lilith is just a way to demonize women who don't conform. It's based on an old Judaic myth about Adam's first wife, I believe. Well, not first. I think she was like 5th or something. But anyway, like, there was a whole progression of different wives made for Adam, and one was made completely equal to him, basically, like made the same way he was, and she would not submit to him and lie under him for sex. And Adam, being a little whiny bitch boy, complained to Yahweh because his wife actually had a backbone, and she ends up like running away and supposedly marrying Satan and becoming like the mother of a race of demons. Just, you know, Jews used to have amulets made for their babies because she supposedly swore vengeance against all the children of Adam. And so they have these amulets made to protect their children from Lilith and her children, quote unquote. But like I said, it's really just a way of demonizing women who don't conform to society and don't act like good submissive wives and all that bullshit. Renfrey, there we go. I finally remembered her name. But yeah, it was really cool. Like once I remembered who the characters were, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I know what we're doing right now. I really liked the queen. At first, she felt a little too soft, but after a while, I realized, yeah, she was really just trying really hard to be soft for her granddaughter, and you know, to present a happy face to her and not to really have her be overwhelmed by all the duties that she would eventually have to take on and all the realities of the world before necessary. She wanted her to actually have a childhood, which was sweet. I wonder if we're going to get a certain scene where Geralt has to make a choice in front of her, because I really like that scene from the book. But anyway, yeah, I thought the effects were actually pretty well done. The monster at the beginning was, I mean, yeah, you could tell it was CG, but it was pretty good CG. I think the lighting effects and shadows and everything on it looked pretty good, and in motion it looked pretty good. So they definitely seem to be making the most of their effects budget, like putting it where it needs to go. The fight in the town was fantastic. I like that it was a one shot. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't remember any cuts in it, and that's awesome. I think that's the best way to shoot a fight, is minimal cuts. Everything was appropriately brutal and visceral. I really felt like these were people who were really killing each other, you know, and also really cool to use just a little bit of slow motion at the beginning to demonstrate what it's like for a Witcher fighting normal people, like how, because across, I mean, the whole point of them is they deliver the bolts with speed and force that's pretty much impossible to do anything about, you know? And the fact that he was able to parry a crossbow bolt at that distance demonstrates a tremendous speed, you know, and also awareness that goes far beyond normal humans. So I thought that was pretty well done. The only real criticism I have, aside from maybe making sequences more linear, is that I wish that I hope going forward that they will find a better way to deliver exposition. I think that there were definitely times where the exposition don't sort of ground everything to a halt and felt really obvious. But, you know, as I say with every series, the first couple episodes are always a little bit janky, and that was really the only real jank, I think, for this episode. It's just that the exposition can be delivered a little more adroitly, you know. But anyway, I'm glad that to start this definitely, I think, off on the right foot for the most part, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. Let me know what you guys thought when you first saw this. How many of you saw it without having read any of the material? How many of you saw it having read the material? And I guess there's a third category for this, since a lot of people, you know, came into their lives first as the video game. So I'm wondering how many of you watched this only knowing the video game and not having read any of the books. And for each of those categories, what did you think of this episode? And how did it meet your expectations, if you had any? And, you know, what did you really like about it? What did you not like about it? What would you personally have changed? Try to think like a writer for a minute, or like a director, and you know, what would you have done differently, if anything? Anyway, guys, like I said, thanks again. I really appreciate it. Remember to leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff that helps channels grow, because I need the channel to get bigger. You know, like when Tetsuo goes all Akira mode at the end of Akira. I wanted to just grow and grow and grow and eat the city. Okay, maybe not the last part. I think I'm just hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. But yeah, seriously, thanks again, guys. I really do appreciate you hanging out with me and all this stuff. I know I ramble a little bit. And those of you who watch all the way to the end, you are the real MVPs. But all of you, be safe and be well, and I will see you for the next one. Bye-bye.
Who threw that stone? Come on!